We're at 2:02. I see that we're recording. I'm Rebecca with CPA, and this is the CPA Connect School of Technology intermediate level mobile session week 5, mobile. I wanted to mention, as we were just talking about referrals, I know that I have offered over the course of our time together to put these through for folks where there's an opportunity to work one-on-one with one of our tech assistance volunteers. And they've been coming more frequently, and which is great. We love it. And so I had an opportunity to talk with our volunteer coordinator, Marilyn Hahn, and she asked me to kind of share with people about the process of that, how it works. So I put in the referral electronically, and then Marilyn kind of takes it from there. She coordinates with the volunteers and gets them assigned to people for the different requests. But there are 2 steps to the process before you would be connected with the volunteer. The individual who wants to receive the service has to sign a waiver that they're allowing someone from CPA into their home. And they also have to sign a waiver that they understand this person is a non-professional, they're a volunteer, and so it's sort of a release of liability. So just wanted to mention that it's not an instantaneous process. I would say generally think in terms of about a week for turnaround time, but just so that people are aware that there's sort of, if we don't have those releases on file, those papers would have to be signed for the agency. So just FYI. Many of you were on yesterday. This is the same information in the slide presentations. I want to go through that fairly rapidly because from what we experienced yesterday, I want to leave as much time to practice with Zoom, which is our task for today, on our either smartphone or tablet. It's a little bit different than doing it on a laptop or a desktop. There's just some different options and different setup. I hope that Ms. Sustin will join us because she was particularly interested in changing the name permanently. But let me pull up the slide presentation. I will also say that it's the same layout as yesterday in that I have a video for all of the different platforms that we're going to just sort of briefly go over. So today's topic, video chat, we're discussing the sort of different platforms that people can use to have this experience, be it one-on-one or with a group. And so yesterday, same as today, there's a video for each one. We're not going to watch them in class. Those are for your own interest if you care to go through. But these videos are different from the ones from yesterday because they're geared specifically towards a mobile device. Generally speaking, I would think a phone, but you can, use a tablet for some of these things too. So we found out yesterday about FaceTime. So let's get right into it. As always, now that I'm full screen with the presentation, I cannot see any of the squares with your lovely faces. So just jump right in if you have a question or have something to add. All right. So Zoom, I know this is a big reason that many people wanted to take this course is because they wanted to have more experience and find out more about Zoom. But this has become our sort of go-to video conferencing service through the course of the quarantine. It's nice because they have a free account, but you can pay for a premium and get more services. And you can host one-on-one meetings or up to 100 groups of up to 100. And then even larger groups for an additional fee. And people can join either by phone or by computer. Definitely, I would advise if you're on a Zoom to plug in your device and make sure you're on Wi-Fi. The Zoom tends to really suck the battery down and can also rack up a lot of data for you if you do not have an unlimited plan. So we're going to kind of have that same thing as yesterday where that video is going to try to start. So hopefully I'll get good at stopping it here. It just sort of automatically starts once I advance the slide. Google Meet is another video conferencing service. You do have to have a Google account to create a meeting, which all of us should have because we all had to set up a Gmail for this course. So you cannot join a meeting from a mobile device without being signed into a Google account. So there's no like browser tab option when you're on a mobile device, just because you're working from the app platform. Facebook Messenger is another video chat service. You will have to download the app onto your phone to use the full features. Again, you can have one-on-one conversation or a larger group. Please be aware, Messenger has a feature, Messenger Rooms, where you can be in a video chat. And in that room feature, there is an option to also do a Facebook Live from a room. So you could potentially be viewed by a wider audience than just who's in the room. Just FYI, if you're ever in that situation, may not be entirely private. Skype, this is sort of that first video chat platform that came out. If we remember sort of back in the day, this was the first one. It seemed very revolutionary, I think, to all of us to be able to have a video chat on our computer. The one thing about Skype, it's free to use from a Skype account to Skype account on a computer. But if you're calling in on a landline or mobile over telephone network, there is a fee for Skype. So that has somewhat limited it. Geez, that was hard for me to say. But the computer to computer is free. You know, I talked about the upcoming platforms yesterday, and I think that we mostly think about using these services on our phone rather than on a computer, although it's possible. But yeah, I think this is something that we would tend to think about doing on our phone. Google Duo is another video chat service that it has its own app and you can have one-on-one or group conversations. To be in it, you have to download the app. Something that's kind of a cool feature about Google Duo is that you can record video messages and send to people. So almost like, you know, a voicemail, but also having the video. So that can be kind of fun for a lot of different reasons. And they have little filters and effects. So you can kind of change your background, or if you've ever seen like somebody has a animated flower crown or little stars flying around, those are all those sort of fun little things, and they have those available on that app and some of the other ones that are coming up. One of the things that's cool about Google Duo is that it's a good way to have video chat on your phone between someone, if one person has an iPhone and the other person has an Android phone. coming up, we'll talk about Facebook or excuse me, FaceTime. And so, you know, we know that only if you have an Apple product can you use FaceTime, but Google Duo allows between the different types of phone. And there's some other services that do as well, like WhatsApp. We've talked about WhatsApp previously in the communication video that we had. This WhatsApp does have just regular calling on the phone and text, but it also has a video chat feature. It does rely on an internet connection. It's encrypted, so it offers like sort of a heightened privacy. Please don't ask me to dive deeper into that because I truly don't know much about encrypting. Perhaps Art or someone else on the Zoom could speak to it. But this app also is a good way to have conversation between the different types of devices, iPhone and Android. Instagram also has a video chat option. Both people would have to be on Instagram, so downloading the app as well as setting up an account. Once you download the app, you kind of do that, and you don't have to have a posting account necessarily. There's many people who have private accounts, so they're what they post isn't viewable by the general public. And there's lots of people that just have like one or two posts up, and it almost seems like just kind of a place marker for them to access Instagram. Not everybody likes to post. Some people just, sort of want to consume on Instagram by looking at other people's stuff, or maybe to use this feature. Again, it's another way for people with iPhone and Android to be able to have a video chat. This one doesn't, to my knowledge, offer a group conversation the way that you can like on Google Duo. What I'm aware of is that it's a one-on-one. And then FaceTime, as mentioned. I feel this is the one that like I sort of first remember really hearing about. I don't know if there were others beforehand that offered this sort of video chat on your phone service. I feel like FaceTime is the first one that I really remember hearing about. And then because it's proprietary to iPhone, it was kind of like, well, how do we do this cool thing on Android or between iPhone and Android? And it seems like then the other ones kind of came out. But yeah, something that we found out yesterday through the course of conversation with one of our participants. She shared that she was able to set up on her iPad, because she doesn't have an iPhone. She had a group of friends who had a sort of FaceTime meeting, and they were able to set up a workaround that she could access that call on her iPad. So FYI, that is possible. And I'll need to update these slides to reflect that. But it's kind of cool to know. I think this is the last one. And I know I went through those quickly because I really do want to leave time for us to sort of practice Zoom on our phone and or tablet, whichever you prefer. Does anyone have any question or comment that they would like to share in regard to any of those video chat services? Okay, fair enough. So I am really glad to see that you are here, Harriet. I do have an answer for changing the name from settings. So we'll get into that. The permanent name, taking your grandson off there. But we're gonna start with like the basics of Zoom navigation. And so the first thing we're going to do is practice muting and unmuting ourselves. So yesterday we kind of went through each person individually, and I think that that's one of the easier tasks. I'm going to try to see if we can do it all en masse this time around to kind of save a little bit of time. So if everyone could tap on their microphone icon on their phone and unmute themselves. If everyone could just unmute. We're getting there, we're getting there. Ms. Rothman and Ms. White, if you could, there you go. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I am going to see if I can install Zoom on my phone just for this purposes of this workshop.
Wonderful.
Okay, so, but I'll mute myself meanwhile, just because, and just know that because I'm talking to you on my Chromebook, okay, for right now. So I may have to catch up with folks.
And Mary's away from her laptop.
How do I
Phone call.
put Zoom on my phone?
Very carefully.
Who just asked how they put Zoom on their phone?
Fran.
Unmute yourself.
Hi, Ms. Burrows. I'm sort of looking at two things at once because I'm logging on to the Zoom on my phone as well.
There you go.
All right. So I will answer that question. Give me 1 second. Can everyone please mute themselves again, just so we don't get a lot of background conversations? It looks like everyone pretty much has that skill, so that's wonderful. Ms. Stark may have walked away. When you have a chance, if you could just also remute. So Ms. Burrows, what type of phone do you have? Do you have an app?
I have a
Do you have an
I have an iPhone. Okay.
Once I logged in on my phone, it was creating a feedback loop, so I apologize for that. What I did was I turned my sound down on my Chromebook because my phone, interestingly enough, doesn't let me turn the sound all the way down when I'm on a Zoom, I found out. And then I muted the Chromebook where my actual video is, and my sound is operating out of my phone connection. You have an iPhone, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll go to the Play Store.
Oh, that I'm out of. I guess I'm way out. I don't know what that is.
That's the Apple Play Store is where you go to download any of the apps. See if I can.
I have an app store.
Yep. That's the app store.
Okay. But it's not doing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm searching.
So you type in Zoom. And then when it comes up, Zoom, for iOS, then you'll just select that. When you type that in, were you able to?
No, I think I'm gonna have to take your beginner's class. Oh, here it is. And then after Zoom is on,
So select that, and then it should give you an option to install it. I'm laughing at myself because the picture on my Chromebook looks different than the picture on my phone. Like I feel like I look better on my Chromebook.
I put in the Zoom app for iPhone.
Zoom for iPhone, yes.
Okay, now I have it.
And then click install. So that'll take a moment.
It went to start a meeting.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Ms. Burrows if we can kind of transition that more to like the end of the class.
Sure, fine.
So, yeah, so that we can kind of press on with
Sure.
the left, and then, but we'll circle back to kind of see if we can walk through it one-on-one.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And then if you could remute just for the purpose of the exercise.
Okay.
So everyone did well with the muting and unmuting. And right next to the microphone icon on your phone is a little icon of a video camera. And on mine, it says start video. I would assume it says something similar on yours. But if everyone could put themselves on cam and then take themselves off. But first, let's see if we can get everyone on. Ms. Burrows, are you able to tap on
No,
that?
I am not.
Okay, okay. And then Ms. Janetta had messaged me that she has a couple things going on. So then let's come off cam just for the purposes of the exercise.
Oops.
And then if you'd like to be on cam, just please put yourself back on cam again. So great. Looks like we all have that skill. That's great. So the next tasks are a little more involved, particularly on the phone, as opposed to doing them on the computer or the laptop. The next thing that we're going to practice doing is renaming ourselves just for this session. And then we'll get to actually changing your actual permanent username or display name rather. So on my screen, I have the microphone icon, then the camera. Then I have a little green box that says share. Some people I know it's blue. So depending on your device. And then I have there's an icon of two people and it says participants. Click on that. The icon of the two people. And that should change your screen to being a list of all the people who are in this session. Find your name, and on the right-hand side of the screen, there should be a little arrow that's like pointing to the right. If you can click on that, I have a dialog box that pops up, and I have two options. raise hand, or rename. If you select tap on rename, you'll get a new box. And then that allows you to put whatever you want in there. Because I'm on my phone, I can also use emojis. Kind of fun. So the screen on my Chromebook stayed the same, but you'll see the screen that had my little purple flower now says CPA is great with a purple heart instead of my name, Rebecca Colors. So go ahead, Willie Michelson, and change your name for me. Art Kraus Zoomer, I love it. Harriet's gone down to just Harriet Suston. Karen again. Sunshine, I see Spooky. Annette Carroll, Smarty Pants, I'll take it. Carol, the great Zoomer, I love it. Positive affirmation, I love it. So just, we have three people still who haven't changed their name, and I'd be happy to help you do that as needed. Mr. Connolly?
Yes, I joined the meeting late, which I apologize for. At any rate, so when I came in, I wasn't sure what screen you were on or how you got there.
So we're working in Zoom.
Yes.
And we're practicing today navigating Zoom on our phone. So do you have the Zoom app open on your phone? Are you joining the session from?
Well, right now I'm just on my laptop, but I can join it from my phone. Do I just type in Zoom on the phone like I would on a computer? Or do I have to get an app for that?
You have to actually have the Zoom app. So if you want to go ahead and download the Zoom app, do you know how to get that from the App Store? Or the?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
This is Zoom for cloud meetings. Open that one? Zoom for cloud meetings, or is it Zoom for Intune? Or
It should be just Zoom. What kind of phone do you have?
iPhone?
So Zoom for iOS.
Yes, let me see. Do that one.
Yeah.
Zoom. See.
So I'll circle back with you while you're downloading that. So now I want to get out of the participant list and go back to everybody's squares. So there's two ways on my phone that I can do that. In the upper, Donna Deo, we got a Donna Deo. Great. On the upper left-hand corner on my phone, it may be on a different corner on your phone. It says close. And if I tap close, I'll go back to the squares with the faces. Or I can do a up swipe on mine, it's on the right-hand side. If I swipe up, that takes me back one screen. So either you can press close or you can press swipe up. Now, one of the other things that happened when we went into that rename, we also had an option to raise our hand. Oftentimes when you're on a Zoom where there's several people, more people, or it's a more formal situation, you're not allowed to just unmute yourself. They can even have controls on it where it's not an option for you to do so. But a way that you can interact in the conversation is by clicking that little raise hand. And that puts an electronic image of a hand up, and then the moderators know. I see Karen again has raised her hand. If anyone else would like to take a shot at raising their hand, you could. Annette, wonderful. Could raise your hand. Mel, great. Carol, great. Anyone else?
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Can you run, how do you do that again?
Sure. I'm not sure who's speaking right now. Who just asked that? About raising the hand?
It was Donna Deo.
Oh, okay, Donna Day, great. So if you click again on the participants icon on your phone, you'll get to your participant list. And then find your name, Donna Deo, and that little arrow that's pointing out to the right, tap on that. And then you get a little box and it gives you two options, raise hand or rename. Do you see that? You're muted. Mr. Reiser, do you see that?
You know, when I click on, I give me rename and mute, and that's it. I don't have the hand.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm not on my phone, so
Oh,
this is
okay.
laptop.
So we'll find, we can,
It
there's
might
other,
be under reaction on the laptop.
Oh,
it
my
might-
reaction, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It is under reaction. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you.
okay.
Okay,
So
there we go.
Zoom,
Rebecca,
Thank you.
thank you for that. Zoom, yes?
sorry,
Yeah.
I just say I'm on my on the iPhone and I don't get that under participants. All I can do is close it. But I have like a little more, the little more dot, and that's how I got to the raise hand, lower hand and chat. So maybe it's probably different from the iPhone than the Android. So I'm not sure if other iPhone folks are seeing the same thing. But in case
Interesting.
else has a different configuration and has an iPhone, that's what's on mine.
Thank you for sharing that. So next we're going to go into more, and that is another, because I also, when I go into more on my phone, I also again have an option to raise my hand there. So please bear with, Zoom has a different appearance on different devices, so it can be a little tricky to try to navigate it. But yes, if you've raised your hand, you could go ahead and put it back down, and you would just simply do that by clicking again to lower hand. Once you raise it, you should have an option to then, it should say lower hand instead of raised hand. And that apparently for, good job, Donna Deo. Apparently on the iPhone, that's in the more menu. So next to participants is that more, and let's take a look. I have, after I click more, I have chat, meeting settings, and then virtual background. Now, I have a paid account. So I think when the free account, I don't think that you have options for a virtual background, if I'm not mistaken. So you may or may not see that. But well, we've already seen that the raised hand is there. And then there are some different emojis, these reactions. Ms. Fine, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I don't have a paid account, but it says background and filters, and it's not a paid account.
Okay.
You can do background and filters with a free account.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good to know.
I just discovered that I don't want to take much time, but I just switched over to my iPhone from the computer. I
Mhm.
hope I didn't cause any buzzing in anybody's ears when I did that. It's interesting. First time I've used my phone to do Zoom. But the only question I have is, the only thing I can see, Rebecca, is you and me. Is that the way you have it set up?
And that's a thing. So if you swipe left, you should see, you should get four people. But that is the thing about being on a
Oh.
Zoom on a phone. You can
Oh, I
only,
do see that now.
yeah, you can
least
only
some people.
see, yep, four people. And then if you swiped again, you'd get another four.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
and so then you can go back to that sort of first one, and that would be like swiping back, swiping right this time to go back. Then that's looking the opposite way to you guys when I'm doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
But then you can kind of have that just see who's speaking as the whole
Mhm.
screen, or then you can get the four squares. So that
Gotcha.
is one limitation of being on a Zoom on your phone, is that you can only, the max people that you can see is four.
Well, it makes sense. The screen's small.
Right. So these quick reactions, you can tap and then get a little picture up. I put a heart up. You could put a celebration up. If anyone would like to try doing a quick reaction. Great. Thanks for clapping, Carolyn. It's interesting because when I'm looking at the screen on my Chromebook, again, I've said Chromebook doesn't have the full capacity on Zoom, and I can't see any of the quick reactions on my Chromebook, but I can see them on my phone. So,
I like mine.
Oh, I like your halo. I can see your halo on my Chromebook. That's
I got to
interesting.
save this and show it to my wife because she won't believe it.
Take a picture. I love it. That's great. So the thing that I really wanted to try to practice using the phone, it's one of two things, is navigating the chat, because it's a little bit trickier than when you're doing it on the laptop or the computer. On the laptop or computer, you get that sort of side column that gives you the chat, right? And you can kind of read as it's going on. You can still do chat on your phone, but it's going to take you to a separate screen. So if you're in that more menu, you should have a chat option. If you just tap that, and then you'll see just the way the participant list came up, now the chat comes up. And if people would like to sort of write something in the chat, again, something that's fun about being on your phone, you can use emojis. I just sent a series of peace doves. Thumbs up from Karen, wonderful. Ms. Salomon, you've got it, great. Anyone else? Ms. Stark, wonderful.
Chat. Okay, now.
Rebecca, how do you set, once you type the message, how do you send it?
Next to the typing, on my phone, I have, it says send. But until I actually put something in there, it doesn't light up.
I don't have a send. It just says file. I'm on my tablet. I'm on my laptop.
Just press enter.
Oh, press enter, yeah.
I'm sorry? And
Press enter on the laptop.
okay, that didn't work.
I haven't been able to do anything in chat either. So let me try enter.
So when you press enter on your laptop, Mr. Reiser, it doesn't. There you go. Got it. Good. Ms. Fine, how about you?
Well, let's see. You mean return?
Yes.
I don't, okay.
Yes. Sometimes on a tablet, it might say something like go instead of enter or return. Ms. Burrows and Mr. Connolly, I have not forgotten about you. Just kind of
I
stay.
understand.
We're gonna come back to that one-on-one.
I can't make it, I can't do anything on it. First tap here to chat or tap a message to reply, right? Hit that. And then, okay.
You have the list of the chat up.
All right, maybe this is it. Let's try it. No, then it disappears. That's weird. Let me try it one more time. Chat. Send to everyone.
So
I don't know what's going on here.
So hold on to that. And let's circle back for some one-on-one at the end, okay? Because we should be able to figure that out. But I want to work, because we only have 15 minutes left. I'd like to try to get to the group stuff, and then we can kind of do a one-on-one at the end.
Okay.
Art added, oh, Mr. Connolly, you got in there, great. It should be at the very bottom. Art added, and that is, yes, that's exactly where the chat should be, or where you type in for it.
Yeah,
But
I do have the chat at the bottom of my notebook computer, but I don't have it on my phone, but we talk about that later, I guess.
okay, yeah, we'll get there. If you, to close the chat and to go back to the screens, again, you should have somewhere, I have on my upper left-hand corner, it says close. And so you could tap on that close, or do a on the right-hand side, swipe up, and that should take you back one screen and take you back to the videos. Did anybody have a problem with closing the chat on their phone or tablet? Ms. Vine? You're muted.
I didn't have any problem closing it, and I don't know, it seems like it's an issue on my tablet, but maybe not.
I'm like 99.9% sure that you have the function. We'll figure it out. We'll circle back.
Okay.
So the last task that I want everyone to try is to do a screen share from your phone. So screen sharing is, I think, the thing that gives everyone the most kind of fear or insecurity. And doing it on the phone is a little more complicated than doing it, I think, on, oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Reiser. And then then you've got that down, so then you could just click stop share. If I will sort of call on people to go around and give everybody the opportunity. I have in the middle of my screen at the bottom, where there's the microphone, then the video camera, and then I have a little square that's green on my phone. I believe it's blue on some others. And there's an arrow pointing up, and underneath it says share. So
Content.
please
It says share content.
share content. Thank you. So
Okay.
share. And then when you click on that on your phone or your tablet, you should then have a list. Thank you, Ms. Stark. Good job. Of different places that you can share from on your phone. Some of them are a little more complicated than others. I think the most straightforward place for us to share, especially if we don't feel entirely confident about doing so, will be from our photos. So if you select photo, it may come up and just take you straight into your photos, depending on your phone or your tablet, or you may then have to pick another place to get them from. On my phone, I have several options of where I could choose a photo from, and I'm going to go to my gallery. And then I have all my pictures that I've taken. Here's a little gray day daffodil shot that I got from a park by my house recently. And then everyone's seen enough of my stuff, right? So then I on my screen now, instead of green, that little box is red and it's got an X through it. It says stop share on my phone. I'm just going to click that, and then that will go away. One thing that's kind of cool, I see Ms. Weber starting to share. Who are these folks? Are those your grandkids and your
Yeah, they're
son?
my one son-in-law and two of my grandsons.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing your family. One thing that's kind of cool about sharing from your phone, when you share on the laptop and you share your screen, everyone can see all the browser tabs that you have open, as we discussed yesterday. On your phone, nothing shows until you make that final selection of exactly what it is that you want to show. So you don't have to worry about people inadvertently seeing something that you have open on your computer or device. It's kind of cool. But let's go around. Mr. Reiser, you got it. Okay, Mary Salomon. Lovely. Wow. Where was that from? Well, all right. You don't have to. I love that.